This is not the usual type of video that I would upload. I believe that unfortunately this may concern a far wider audience. This is a brief overview of my personal story of having basal cell carcinoma, skin cancer. There are two different types of skin cancer: basal cell carcinoma and squamous cell carcinoma. Basal cell tends to not to spread and stays in one area, whereas squamous cell can spread to other parts of the body. Though these types of cancer, the carcinoma, they can change from one to the other. They're often referred to as rodent ulcers. I had a lesion, I had a scab on the left side of my head near the temple. I had this for approximately 5 years, which grew slowly. It caused me no pain at all. It was just superficial, and people sometimes mentioned it when I was speaking to them. I do cut my own hair. I have short hair. When I cut it, it caused it to bleed slightly, but not for very long. I was out working one day and I had a gap in my day, so I went to see my GP. That was at the beginning of August. I was examined and referred to the plastic surgeons at Chapel Allerton Hospital in Leeds. They rang me the next morning. I was given an appointment for the following week. At Chapel Allerton Hospital, I was examined by the specialist, who said I would have to have the lesion removed under local anaesthetic. Not general anaesthetic, I would be awake the whole time under local anaesthetic. I received an appointment to have surgery at Leeds General Infirmary less than 3 weeks later. I arrived at the LGI at 7:30 AM on the morning of my appointment. There were about a dozen people there for surgery that morning. We were all told to attend at the same time. We were all given a pre-operation interview so the surgeons could decide in what order, in what priority we would have surgery. As it turned out, I was to be the last one for the morning surgery. I was called to the operating theatre at 12:30. My operation was scheduled for 45 minutes. I was 2 hours. The most painful part, and it really isn't that bad, is the injections of the local anaesthetic around the area to be operated on. It stings slightly and feels warm, but it's really not too bad. I was awake the whole time of my operation, with 3 crazy ladies with scalpels listening to rock music. About halfway through, I did feel something quite sharp. Another injection of local anaesthetic cured that. The reason that my operation took so long is that surgery resulted in me having a hole in the side of my head the size of a golf ball. I had to have a facelift to close the hole. Think of making your bed. When you stretch the mattress over the bottom sheet, over the last corner, that's what they did with the skin on the side of my head. So facelift, modelling career for me, eh? Who knows? Also, there's an artery that runs up the side of the ear. Mine had to be cut, tied off and sealed. I had dissolving stitches inside, stitches and glue on the outside to try to keep the wound closed, as the skin was very tight. After surgery, I sat in the recovery area with a cup of tea and a couple of biscuits. About 15 minutes later, I was sent home and told to expect some bleeding. I was allowed to take paracetamol, but nothing stronger, as anything else contains blood thinners and it would just obviously increase the bleeding. It was recommended that I had to sleep propped up so the blood would drain from the side of my head. I recall having to shower every couple of hours to wash off the blood. It had run down my face and neck onto my shoulders and my chest. I ruined a couple of towels that I used to cover my pillows. Obviously my sleep pattern was severely interrupted. I would often sleep for a couple of hours during the day. Speaking to my GP about this, he explains that this was the body's way of reacting after being put through some trauma. I was not allowed to ride my mountain bike until further notice, as exercise obviously increases the heart rate, which then pumps blood around the body, and the artery could burst open, give me problems, and I certainly didn't fancy going under the knife again. A week after my operation, I went to see my GP to have the wound cleaned up and my dressings changed. The nurse that I saw there took one look at the side of my head and said, "What am I supposed to do with that?" We're a little bit of a mess. Though to her credit, she did manage to clean me up, fit a new dressing, and I came out of there feeling a lot better than when I went in. I will now show you a series of photographs. These were taken pre-operation, post-operation, and then at weekly intervals for the following 8 weeks, when I would attend the plastic surgery unit LGI. I used to go every Friday morning. I will be cleaned up, I'll be given some new dressings and sent home. You may notice from the pictures that between weeks 5 and 6 there's quite an improvement. So have a look at these. On week 8, I saw the specialist at Leeds General Infirmary, who gave me the good news: they got all the basal cell carcinoma. The surgeons had to go an extra 2.5mm deep and an extra 4.5mm around the circumference to ensure they got it all. The chances of it returning are 2%. The bottom line is, the reason I've posted this video is, if you have anything on your head, face, ears, neck, shoulders, anywhere that's exposed to the sun, keep an eye on it. If you get anything that you're not sure about, get yourself to your GP ASAP. I think women are pretty good with things like this, but us blokes sometimes think we're big and hard and we get on with it. No, get yourself checked out, guys. Don't do what I did. Don't wait so long. Get yourselves checked out straight away. May hopefully turn out to be nothing, but hopefully you won't have to go through what I went through. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.